4 big adoptions in the Clear the Shelters event happening at the Palm Springs Animal Shelter this weekend.
And we're tracking an extreme heat warning through tomorrow. More on that full forecast coming up. NBC Palm Springs at 6 starts right now.
Now, this is NBC Palm Springs.
Good evening, everybody. It's great to have you here on this Tuesday night. I'm Mark Mester. Olivia is going to join us in just a moment. Our top story this evening, Clear the Shelters. It's this weekend at the Palm Springs Animal Shelter. It's a push to help the hundreds of animals in the shelter find a loving forever home, including the ones on your screen right here. All these dogs and animals are available for adoption. The reason the shelter is over capacity right now. This weekend, the adoption fees are completely waived. Funding has been donated by members of our community. All week long, we're going to be live at the shelter to showcase some of the animals looking for those forever homes. Tonight, our Olivia Sandusky is live in Palm Springs. She has the latest on this incredible event. Liv?
Mark, this is one of the best parts of our jobs is when we get to team up with great organizations like the Palm Springs Animal Shelter and help to push these important causes, because Clear the Shelters is something we've done the last few years, and we love when the weekend happens and so many animals are finding their forever homes. Speaking of animals, we have another one to introduce you to. We have Jack Hagerman here with the shelter and your lovely guest Piper, who's looking for a forever home.
This is Piper. Piper's 8.5. She came to us because her owner got very sick and wasn't able to care for her anymore. She's a really wonderful dog. She's a little shy. She would be great in a household with no other pets. She doesn't seem to care for other dogs or cats, but she loves people. And she warms up quickly. She obviously is very treat motivated.
Yeah,
so.
man. Piper, look this way so we can show your pretty little face off to the camera. Oh, there we go.
She's like, no, I'm not interested. I want the treats.
Well, one thing we've been talking about, which the shelter does, microchipping, pet licensing. Tell me a little bit about why that is so important.
Yes, so with every adoption, you're going to get a free microchip. And the reason that that's important is because it's identification, right? If your dog ever gets loose, we want to get it back to you as quickly as possible, so that microchip is going to help us do that. It's also really important to make sure that your pet is licensed, not only because it's an ordinance in the city of Palm Springs, but because it's also proof of vaccination, right? We want to make sure that everybody knows that your dog has been vaccinated against rabies. So if you ever want to take your dog to a doggy daycare or anything, they're going to need that proof, and your license will do that for you. What I love about our licensing partner, DocuPet, is that they have all these really great designer pet tags that you can get. So not only are you going to get proper identification for your dog, but you're going to accessorize them with something super cute.
That's great. Now, we mentioned the adoptions are waived this weekend. That's because amazing community members have stepped up to fund those adoptions and sponsor them. Brian Vincent tonight adopted here from the shelter. He's sponsoring 4 big dogs just like Piper.
As I understand it, the large dogs are much harder to place, and especially around here. And having gone through that experience and taking a chance and adopting a large dog myself for the first time, and one, you know, who'd been here for so long and just really needed a home. That's why I want to enable others who may kind of be on the fence or may not otherwise have the means to do it. I want to offer them that opportunity.
There are a lot of great donors that we will introduce you to this week. But again, remind everyone, they're watching Piper. They're like, we're coming this weekend. What are the times?
We're open from 10 to 5 on Saturday and 11 to 5 on Sunday.
Wonderful. More animals coming up in just a minute, but Mark, we'll send it back to you for now.
All right, our thanks to Olivia for that. We'll hear from Liv a little bit later on in tonight's newscast. Meantime, let's get a check on the forecast. Live pictures right here from our Agua Caliente casino camera from high above downtown Palm Springs. We're going to send things over to Chloe Carlson. Chloe, you're going to be out at that shelter later this week, right?
I am, and I get so excited every single year for all the shelter events we do. So many amazing animals there. They take such good care of them, and yeah, it could be your new furry friend, so definitely check it out. Like he said, I will be there later on this week showcasing some of those dogs and cats as well. Extreme heat warning, something I mentioned as we kicked off the show. This is going to continue into tomorrow evening, so keep that in mind. Speaking of pets, do not be walking them during the day. Please wait until the sun goes down, or if you're going to wake up really, really early, because these conditions are very hot. Temperatures are hot, and then the asphalt, I know that they were talking last week, 153 degrees on the sidewalk, so you just don't want them out during that time. So that's going to continue through tomorrow. We are also tracking an air quality quality alert through tonight. So just keep that in mind with your evening activities that you might have for the rest of the evening. We do have those winds kind of kicking up that dust and that sand, so not creating the best air quality. So keep that in mind. That is going to go through this evening. As far as winds go right now, these are not super catastrophic as winds. We don't have a wind advisory, but for those wind-prone areas like North Indian Canyon, getting up to 45-mile-per-hour wind gusts through 9 o'clock this evening. Temperatures outside right now, downtown Palm Springs, 114 at the airport. Here's a look at your Comfort 3-day forecast. So we are staying above 110 degrees for our Wednesday and Thursday, but good news is dipping below average as we get into Friday and the weekend. We'll break down what we're going to expect in that full forecast coming up.
All right, Chloe, thank you for that. 3 hikers rescued by helicopter this afternoon after suffering heat-related ailments. Happened near Thermal. The Riverside County Fire Department tells us this incident happened just before 2 p.m. at Painted Canyon Trail. That's off of Painted Canyon Road. We've mapped it out for you right there. One hiker, we're told, sustained moderate injuries, was taken to the hospital by ground ambulance after being airlifted from that area by a Riverside County Sheriff's Rescue 9 helicopter. The other 2 declined medical treatment at the scene. Authorities have not released the hikers' identities. And continuing coverage this evening with that excessive heat warning, tonight we're learning about a local nonprofit who tells us how they're looking after farm workers who endure the desert heat day after day. Brett Rosen joins us live in the studio tonight with that story. Brett?
Mark, excessive heat warnings are nothing new to residents in the Coachella Valley. However, for most farm workers, going inside, not working during rough, hot conditions is not even an option. TODEC, which is a nonprofit legal center here in Coachella, has been using their team to go to different fields and give items like water, the correct clothing, and hats, all to protect the workers from the sun. Earlier, we spoke to one TODEC official who says this program called Harvesting Prevention is all about education.
We always like to remind farm workers and anybody working outside to get as much shade as possible, stay cool, look for signs of any maybe heat stroke, heat exhaustion. We've been having our focus groups to help community members to learn how to prevent heat exhaustion with having resources available for them. Making sure they drink water, making sure they're wearing the proper clothes, making sure their workplaces also provide those resources for them.
Now, besides the different items provided to the farm workers, TODEC is also making sure workers know their rights, whether that's them knowing what breaks they should be getting throughout the workday or knowing what items they should be provided from their employer. TODEC also offers helpful advice for farm workers and their rights on their website. You can find the link to that on NBCPalmSprings.com. Live in studio, I'm Brett Rosen, NBC Palm Springs.
All right, Brett, thanks for that. City of Coachella is celebrating the success of 90 local students who graduated from 2 business management programs this past Friday. Happened at UCR's Palm Desert campus. The free courses, a 6-week business readiness class and a 14-week micro MBA program, were both offered online and over at the Coachella Library. Funded by a $287,000 American Rescue Plan Act grant, the programs aim to give residents, business owners, and city staff the tools to start or grow a business and advance their careers. Graduates learned everything from financial management to competitive market analysis, gaining skills and connections to turn their entrepreneurial goals into reality. The 61st annual Palm Desert Golf Cart Parade rolling back into town this year. The event is set to happen on El Paseo. That's Sunday, October 26th. This year's theme, California Dreaming. If you want to take part of the festivities, you are in luck. Entries are open for the parade right now. Golf carts to classic cars to even marching bands and cheer groups. You can take part in that celebration. We've got all the information posted on our website. That's NBCPalmSprings.com. Coming up next tonight, a high school student was detained by the Department of Homeland Security yesterday. We have more on that story. That's coming up. Also, it's Tuesday. Crypto Fitz is here. He's going to talk about how new executive orders will impact the crypto industry. Those details when we come back. But first, here's a look at your gold and silver prices. You're watching NBC Palm Springs at 6 o'clock on this Tuesday night. We're so happy that you're with us. And we're back right after this.
committed to covering our community. You're watching NBC Palm Springs at 6.
A Los Angeles Unified School District high school student was allegedly detained by Department of Homeland Security agents in Arleta on Monday. Gio Insignaris has the latest tonight.
This cannot happen.
At a press conference today, LAUSD Superintendent Alberto Carvalho confirmed a teenager was detained outside Arleta High School by immigration agents. The 15-year-old, a student with disabilities at San Fernando High School, was here with his family, registering a sibling for classes.
Yes, it happened before the start of the school year, but this is the exact type of incident that traumatizes our communities. It cannot repeat itself.
LAUSD says it was an alleged case of mistaken identity, and the student was released after family members got involved. Officials said after the agents left, bullets were collected by school police on the sidewalk after agents apparently left them behind. Carvalho and other local leaders say the incident underscores why the district is rolling out new safety measures ahead of the new school year.
We are gathered here today to talk about protecting our children from the federal government.
Mayor Bass says LAPD and school police are not helping in federal immigration enforcement, and city departments are increasing training to prepare for any federal activity.
The school district has protections in place to keep kids safe.
Some of the measures include expanding safe passage programs, adding bus routes, central office staff, and community safety teams around campuses with higher risks of immigration raids. The district will also distribute family preparedness packets to all students on the first day of school.
Our communities are under attack. It's a deliberate targeting of our Latino communities, our immigrant communities, and the intention is to sow fear and to be cruel and inhumane.
LAUSD board member Kelly Gonez, whose district includes Arleta High School, says what happened today was a shock and unacceptable. As the school year gets started, she says students and their families should feel safe coming to class and that the district is doing everything possible to make that happen.
Kids can't learn when they are feeling trauma and they feel unsafe, and we want to make sure their kids can continue learning. But we know that the best place to do that is in our classrooms with our students, with our support staff.
That was Gio Insignaris reporting this evening. It was another busy week for cryptocurrency as new executive orders are signed by President Trump. Big question, of course, how will this impact the industry? Here's Crypto Fits.
Did you feel it? A seismic shift in Washington's approach to cryptocurrency this week, as President Trump signed 2 executive orders aimed at embedding digital assets deeper into the American financial system. The moves are being hailed by the industry as a landmark moment for innovation. In a major reversal of previous regulatory pressure, the administration rolled out the welcome mat for the crypto industry. The first executive order tackles retirement savings, directing the Department of Labor to establish clear pathways for investment managers to include Bitcoin and other digital assets as options in 401k plans. The White House is framing the move as a win for investor choice, giving Americans the freedom to diversify their long-term savings into this growing asset class. For years, regulatory uncertainty has kept institutional money on the sidelines. This order doesn't just open a door, it removes the door from its hinges. It's a powerful signal to the market. The second order addresses a critical pain point for the crypto industry: banking. It effectively ends the practice known as debanking, where financial institutions have denied services to legitimate crypto business. The directive calls for fair and equal access to banking, ensuring that legally operating crypto companies are no longer treated as high risk by default. Supporters say these orders create a foundation for the crypto industry to thrive in the United States, ending regulatory ambiguity and financial exclusion. A 1-2 punch aimed squarely at fostering American innovation. We will continue to keep you updated on the progress of what's happening in the Bitcoin crypto world. I'm Jimmy Fitz for NBC Palm Springs.
Giving you a live look tonight from our Indian Wells Golf Resort camera. I got 2 things on the docket coming up next. We'll check in with Chloe Carlson, who's got the latest on the forecast. And we'll also head back out to the Palm Springs Animal Shelter, where Olivia Sandusky is getting us ready for the Clear the Shelters event. It's on the other side of this break. Don't go anywhere. All right, this Saturday and this Sunday, it's Clear the Shelters over at the Palm Springs Animal Shelter. Let's go back out live to Olivia Sandusky, who's previewing our coverage. It looks like you have another cute furry friend there.
Yes, Mark, this is Fiji, held by Dan Rossi, the executive director here at the Palm Springs Animal Shelter. Fiji has been purring while we were in the commercial break, waiting for her big debut.
Yeah, she is. She's a shy girl. She's about 3.5 months old. So she needs kind of a patient home that's going to build her confidence and really help her come out of her shell at this point.
A lot of cats this weekend that'll be available, a lot of dogs. Tell me, for you, running this operation, what's the biggest takeaway for you? What's the part you're looking forward to the most?
Just finding forever homes for all the animals that are here. As you know, there's 300 cats with us right now. Just way too many for us, to really take care of in a meaningful way. So just to be able to find homes for these animals that really deserve it and should have it.
And aside from Clear the Shelters, there are other programs that are offered here to help the community, especially those in need. Tell me how those programs work.
So we are here not only for Palm Springs, but really for the whole valley. If people have a pet, they love their pet, but are having difficulties to keep it, we're there to try and help them. So we have our pet food bank, our Rick Gerwin Pet Food Bank, that's available here. All the information is on our website there. So we offer cat food, dog food, some medical food as well if there's special needs there for them as well. We run low-cost vaccine clinics here at the shelter, and on our new operation up in Desert Hot Springs, the Desert Community Animal Center, that's there as well. Okay. So, you know, if there's medical needs, we're there to help. If there are behavior needs, we have a behavioralist on staff here that can help and try and work with those issues as well.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Dan. Again, this weekend at 10 o'clock on Saturday is when it all starts. If you adopt, you also get a gift bag, 2 tickets to the Living Desert. So a lot of reasons to stop by, but let's send it to Chloe. She's tracking the forecast for the weekend for Clear the Shelters. Chloe?
Well, hey, Olivia, love getting to meet Phoebe there. You can adopt her this weekend. And shout out to Dan Rossi and everyone there at the animal shelter for all that you do for those animals. We really appreciate it. Here's a live look at the Walter Clark High 111 cam in Rancho Mirage. Beautiful day out there today. A little hot and a little hazy because of those winds kind of kicking up that dust and that sand. 115 for the high today, so well above average and pretty close to the record-breaking number from 1967 at 118. We didn't quite get there, and that is okay with me. 112 still at this hour in downtown Palm Springs. 110 on the southeast end there in Indio. 97 up there in the high desert. Overnight tonight we will stay above average here on the desert floor. Mid-80s there. 51 degrees. Shout out to the San Bernardino Mountains. For those in Big Bear, a little bit cooler for them. Speaking of those overnight conditions, a reason to go outside. We have the Perseids meteor shower happening, peaking actually tonight. We talked about it late last week when we talked about that full moon, but this is the time to go check it out. Now, typically, you usually would see 40 to 50 meteors per hour because of how bright the moon still is, because we just had a full moon, maybe 10 to 20. So not as many, but still plenty out there to see. So definitely go check that out this evening. As far as future winds go, pick up a little bit for the north side of the Coachella Valley as we get into our Wednesday. Gusts up to 45 miles per hour for those wind-prone areas. More breezy for our Thursday and Friday. Surface moisture, yeah, much higher than we usually have here in the desert. So along with those hot conditions, still going to feel sticky through the rest of the work week. So Wednesday, a bit humid. Again, still well above average conditions. Thursday, temperatures start to back off. We get closer to seasonal, still slightly above. But good news is we have a trough taking over the southwest. That is going to take us below average as we get into the weekend. Good news there. Here's what you come to our 7-day forecast. Above 110 through Thursday, back to seasonal by Friday, below average on Saturday.
They say dogs are a man's best friend, but at NBC Palm Springs, we're a dog's best choice for news. Apologies to our competitors, but even your dogs know who leads the pack in news. The NBC Palm Springs Sports Desk with Tim O'Brien. Brought to you by Agua Caliente Casinos.
Well, welcome back. Most of the Valley gearing up for week 0 in the high school football season, but that's not the case for the La Quinta Blackhawks. Coach Ruiz keeping it old school and officially beginning their season against Yucca Valley on August 29th, which is week 1. Now the Blackhawks, on the heels of a 7-4 overall record and 3-2 in league last year, they're all business as they prepare for the season ahead, but they're going to do so after graduating 22 seniors from last year's roster. Coach Ruiz looking forward to a new season with this new group.
Our defense as a whole, I think our defense as a whole, they're showing some good stuff. We're not going to be the biggest football team out there. We won't pass the eye test, and I'm okay with that. But we're seeing some good things out of our defense as a whole. I really think they're playing more as a unit. Defense wins championships, and that's what I think. We're going to see our defense step up. We're also going to see our O-line as a whole, as a unit, also grow as we work through this. I just think as a unit, we're growing up both on the defensive side of the ball and on the offensive line. We're just out here busting our tails, and we all have the same goals, which is to win a league championship. So we just got to do the little things to be able to do that.
Well, the Blackhawks defense will be the main anchor of the team. Captain Tristan Salas knows that this team has what it takes.
Well, I definitely think this year we got a different energy, and it's showing in practice. Like, everyone really wants it, and we're definitely going to bring it come game time. Our defense is definitely moving. We're all sides of the ball. Both sides of the ball, but our defense really wants it. They're really going to 11 hats to the ball.
Well, La Quinta will open again against Yucca Valley on the 29th in week 1. Now, Salas, the only returning member of the offensive line this season. As we continue our coverage all week long of Coachella Valley Friday Night Lights, we're going to premiere the season opener on NBCPalmSprings.com page, as well as YouTube and Facebook. Click on the Friday Night Lights tab. Again, on NBCPalmSprings.com, you'll find everything Friday Night Lights related. That'll do it in sports. I'm Tim O'Brien.
And now the Agua Caliente Entertainment Report, brought to you by Agua Caliente Casinos.
If you're looking for a movie to enjoy from the comfort of your couch, got a trio of movies that are out tonight. Rick Damagella has more in our video preview.
The Smurfs Come Home. The diminutive blue character's latest big screen adventure is out now to rent or buy from digital services. The movie will also be available on DVD and Blu-ray on October 28th.
Maybe they're not as bad as we think they are.
Here There Be Dragons. How to Train Your Dragon has swooped onto 4K and standard Blu-ray. The home video edition features behind-the-scenes looks at how the animated world was adapted to live action.
Are you a virgin? Oh, you are hilarious. This is good.
You're a virgin!
How can you go 40 years and not have sex? I just kind of stopped trying.
The 40-year-old virgin turns 20. Judd Apatow's comedy classic is celebrating the milestone anniversary with a 4K Blu-ray release featuring an extensive list of bonus features, including a discussion with the director and cast members filmed at the Academy Museum of Motion Pictures. Microwaving popcorn in Hollywood, I'm Rick Damagella.
All right, that's going to do it for us here on this Tuesday. Thanks for joining us. I'm back here tonight for the news at 11. Chloe's got the weather. For now, we're going to send things over to Fred Rogan. He's got the latest with the Rogan Report. Hey, Fred.
Hey, Mark. The Rogan Report is presented by The Living Desert.
I don't want to alarm you, but are we all doomed? Could we all become extinct? We'll discuss before extinction occurs. Happy Monday to you. How do you feel about this? Monday. It's not Monday. You go to Starbucks or a coffee shop, and what do you think about people who basically set up a home office? They have their laptop, and they are taking up the space of at least 3 people. Looks like they're moving into the store. Come back hours later, they're still there. Now, some would say businesses like Starbucks did it to themselves with the comfy chairs and free Wi-Fi. Now they're trying to undo it. So let's start in South Korea. The Starbucks there had to put up a bunch of signs telling people to knock it off with their elaborate office setups. Apparently, some folks are basically moving their entire workspace, desktops, printers, power strips, whole shebang into the cafes, which was ticking off other customers. So now Starbucks is laying down the law saying you can still use your laptop, but you got to leave the full-blown office at home. Our contributors tonight, Chauncey Thompson, a retired banker, and new contributor, Robert Tickle. Okay, Chauncey, you're up first. How much does it annoy you when you see these kind of setups at Starbucks?
You know, I haven't seen any of these setups in Starbucks. I actually walked into one on Saturday, and all I saw were a few people on their laptops. I've never seen anybody with the traveling printer or scanner. I've seen a few meetings, but so it doesn't really annoy me. Victor, does it annoy you?
It doesn't annoy me, but because I don't go to Starbucks. I'm not going to spend $7 on a $50 drink, a 50-cent drink, excuse me. I have seen it, though, overseas, especially in Asia and Eastern Europe. They have very limited internet access, and so therefore they do bring everything into one area. But I'm with you. I walked into a few times, and there's plenty of tables, plenty of chairs.
What do you think is the line between a reasonable work setup and a cafe squatter situation, Robert?
Well, a cafe squatter would be there for more than 45 minutes. I think the time for you to exit the building would be after you finish your coffee and your croissant or whatever you're eating, and maybe check out a couple emails and go on your way.
Chauncey?
I'm a little bit more graceful, I guess. I would give them an hour and a half. If they're buying throughout the day, then they can stay as long as they want. But I would say every hour they should be buying a drink or a pastry of some sort.
Well, every hour, I mean, how many cups of coffee are you going to have in a day? What, 9 cups of coffee? Sit there 9 hours?
Listen, work at a CPA firm, and then you'll tell me how many cups of coffee you can have in a day.
All right. We've said it before, and I'm sure we're going to have to say this again. This show was born to be different. We talk about the news and how it affects the Valley rather than just reporting it. We ask Valley residents to look at these stories and talk about them and what they mean to them. Yet, still a year and a half into this adventure, we still have people who just don't get it. We talked about an email we received that basically said, how dare we give the average person a platform to discuss things that affect them? How dare we? These people need to have credentials and be vetted. Vetted by whom and what kind of credentials? 2 of our contributors, Brian and Dhruvi, talked about it yesterday.
Fred, you have put together a cross-section of everybody. I love the Coachella Valley. I have my point of view. Agree, disagree, disregard, like it, dislike it, think I'm a little right, a lot right. Think about it. You ask me questions, Fred, I think about it. We share things. We agree, we disagree.
I can promise being a random person here to give my opinion on things, and you may agree with me and you may not, but I'm just happy to share what I think.
So we got a lot of comments about this. Most people got it and understood what we were trying to do. Some didn't really care, but they all shared their opinions, which is the objective. Don said he'd rather listen to our contributors and pundits on cable news that are just spouting their agendas. I'd rather listen to your contributors with their thoughts. Also, you listen to local viewers. You don't isolate yourself from the public. Bonnie was no fan of the woman who sent the email. She is a perfect example of where our civility is going. Rude, small-minded, crass. It's a shame that we find ourselves here now. Katie said she loved the diversity of thought our contributors bring. And through their sharing, she may have even changed her opinion on some things. You Don't Give an F listener needs to open her ears and respect us common folk who may not have qualifications. And Bob didn't hold back on what he thought. Most of your contributors don't do much for me. The husband and wife are the best, and I very much enjoy their comments. Bob, of course, talking about Jamie and Doug Baker, and we love them as we will love all of our contributors. Then there was one comment on Facebook I just had to mention. It's from one of our biggest fans, Harry. Whenever we post something on Facebook, Harry is happy to tell us how we are bad or wrong and that his opinion is the only one that matters. It is rare to find anyone on the show with any type of credential other than they live here. Instead, we get people pulled out of their HOA pool and into a studio. To call this journalism is ridiculous. Thank you, Harry. Here's the thing. The show is opinion-based. It allows people to exchange ideas. I've always believed we learn more when we listen. People that don't listen believe they're the smartest person in the room and have all the answers, but that's not true. The smartest person in the room knows where to find the answers, and you do that by listening. The more you listen to different people, no matter who they are, the more you learn. Okay, now something more fun. Medical bills. There's a new bill in California that could really help people tackle their medical bills. It aims to make it easier for patients to dispute charges and get financial assistance from hospitals. According to Cal Matters, hospitals will be required to check whether patients are eligible for charity care or discounted payments before sending them a bill. Especially important since many folks are struggling with medical debt after the pandemic. Bill also requires hospitals to be more transparent about their billing practices, which could prevent surprise charges. It'd be a big step towards easing the financial burden on patients. Chauncey, what do you think about this?
No, I like the enhancement to the bill. My one question or concern is, once someone is marked that they can accept financial assistance, how much larger does their bill get? We've seen it before. I've experienced it. You go to the hospital, you go to the emergency room, and then you're nickeled and dimed for every single thing, and you can't even remember half of the items that you received. So I would be concerned that that system would be fraud in that system. Robert, your thoughts?
Excuse me, I haven't been to the hospital that often, but I assume they were automatically doing that. I know my dentist does. If I go in to get a crown or a tooth pulled or something, they sit me down and they put them in their computer and they tell me how much it's going to cost. They can do a monthly fee if I want, or my insurance is going to cover X amount of dollars. And I thought they were automatically doing it anyway, and they should be doing it one way or the other. But I do agree with you that you can't put a red flag on someone's name.
How could it change the way we handle medical debt, Chauncey?
Well, I think once we can identify people who are in this program, we can start to reach out to them first, let them know what it's going to cost, and we can start to have true billing. I think we see inflated bills because hospitals often get ripped off and people just walk away from their bills, and we've seen that happen, collections, and there has been a change in the collection law around hospitals or medical bills at the beginning of this year. So I think we'll have more transparent billing, and hospitals will actually hopefully bill what the reasonable cost is for whatever procedure or item that they're charging us for.
And what do you think, Robert? Do you think more states should follow California's lead?
It would be nice if they would. I think people have a tendency to say California is way off the mark. But I think this bill is on the mark. We do need to find some way to either come up with universal care or some kind of way to help people with their bills. These bills are outrageously expensive.
Okay, well, helping people to find a way out of debt is what a good neighbor does. Rancho Mirage, Barry needs his solar panels cleaned. He's looking for a company that takes before and after pics and only uses deionized water. Who's got a recommendation? Barbara, Indian Wells, needs a formal gown altered. She's looking for places in Indian Wells. Where should she head? Len in Palm Desert wants to shout out Diego from Diego's Mobile Car Wash. Came to her home, did a great job washing her car. Maria in La Quinta is looking for an affordable vet for her blue heeler who has a suspicious lump on her belly.
It may be hot in the desert, but what you think may singe our ears, singe away. Find Fred on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Fred Rogan. You can also email thedesertdean@gmail.com.
All right, how much do you like your manager? Does this surprise you at all? I read that 1 in 3 U.S. workers say they've had romantic relationships with their managers. This trend highlights how common it is for workplace romances to develop, even with a power dynamic involved. Many people feel these relationships can lead to both positive and negative outcomes, affecting team dynamics, job satisfaction. Chauncey, what do you think about workplace romances, especially with managers?
I think it's inappropriate. Don't go to a concert and get caught. I would also say I think most of the 1 out of 3. It would be interesting to see how many of those 1 out of 3 are in married situations. It's been my experience that most of those involved in those workplace romances are either in a situation with a partner or they're married. So they get messy really quickly.
Robert?
Really quickly.
And I think it's difficult because a lot of companies try to stay away from it. They say you can't have a meeting together. And when it becomes an office issue, that's when it is a major issue.
Well, you know the way it works. If you are going to date someone who is your superior, you've got to notify HR. That's the first thing. In most businesses, if you're going to date somebody who you report to, you've got to report that to HR immediately. If you don't, then you're in violation of company policy. Do you think these kinds of relationships can be healthy at all, Chauncey?
It depends on how big the teams are. If these folks are working in different divisions, then possibly so. But if you're working in a small team where there could be a sense of nepotism or just mainly nepotism, I guess, it's what most people are concerned about. It can be a big concern. Robert and I both have a banking background, and Robert, maybe I don't know what you've experienced in your banking career, but we've seen it all, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, in my career, I've seen a lot of it. What happens, though, is you need to make sure you separate the manager from the person that they're dating or seeing off-site, and make sure that that manager is not influencing the manager of the person that needs to be watched. And both the manager and the person that they're dating should both have the same consequence if anything happens.
All right, you've heard it. I've heard it. AI is here to help and won't take our jobs. But now some experts are warning that super intelligent bots could actually lead to the extinction of humans. So we don't have to worry about our jobs anymore.
From the world of AI.
Our existence. A recent article dives into the potential risks of AI becoming so advanced it could outsmart us and make decisions that threaten our existence. The concerns revolve around the lack of control we might have over these intelligent systems and the unforeseen consequences they could bring. It's a chilling thought that's sparking a lot of debate about how we should approach AI development and regulation. Chauncey, what do you think about the risks of super intelligent AI?
I can't wait for the day when AI is conversating with AI and trying to and then the human is just sitting there watching it go back and forth. It's scary. I think I have a son that's in 7th grade and we're talking about what he wants to do. I told him, look at HVAC techs, things that can potentially be AI secure.
Yeah.
I talked to someone the other day. They're talking about their investment. Apparently, there's an investment strategy out there using an AI bot that can just regulate all your trades now. So I don't think any industry is going to be safe. It's all in how we use it, but it's scary. Robert, your thoughts?
We need to take a step backwards with AI and come up with solutions on how to program and what to program and what they can and cannot do. AI is so fast that it could do things around us with us not even knowing it. So it's just going to take some time and energy for people to sit down with a pencil and paper and come up with some ideas.
Yeah, Chauncey, what do you think? How should we be more cautious in developing these technologies?
I think we should ask ChatGPT. I mean, it's sadly enough, everything that we do, we can do in AI pretty much, from calendaring to a certain degree of tax work, to a certain degree of financial items. But here's the one thing, AI is not going to understand your life component unless you dictate. Everything that you do in AI, you have to dictate properly. It's just like Google. You can find the right answer if you give Google the right prompt. So it's understanding how we utilize it, understanding how we're going to live with it, and questioning it. Don't accept everything at face value.
All right. People are still talking about the trouble at Saddle Rock Estates, the community in Palm Springs where they own their condos, but the condos sit on leased land. Time to renew the lease, and the landowner is requiring a $100,000 signing fee. The landowner says rents have not kept up, so he's raising the rent. That's normal. It's the $100,000 fee that has some people crying foul, and our community is still talking about it.
Good job. Please stop. Perfect.
Some folks are totally against it, saying it's way too risky and that landowners can just take the land back with nothing to show for it. One person even brought up a story about a tribe in Lake Havasu doing just that. Others are saying it's not a big deal and that these kinds of leases get renewed all the time. Plus, you get to buy a nicer place for less money. They're basically saying you just have to read the fine print and know what you're getting into. Whole thing has people pretty divided, with some calling the signing fee pure greed, others saying it's just how sovereign land works.
Good job. Please stop. Perfect.
Think back to the last time your thighs weren't singed when sitting on the superheated seat of your car. Will the air ever be cool again? One person has that answer. Chloe with Super Weather.
Hey Chloe, are you ready for promos?
Yeah, sorry. Let's take a look at that Comfort Air 7-day forecast. We're gonna be warming up.
All right, a new home for a staple.
Riddle me this. What has a ring but no finger?
So in this age of online shopping, many retail outlets have gone the way of the dinosaur. Just having a bookstore seems to be a badge of honor for many cities. And in this edition of Desert in a Minute, Steve Summerall visits one local bookseller and finds out how a Palm Springs badge of honor was almost lost.
But shopping in a bookstore is amazing because you can come in and you can say, I don't know what I want to read, I don't know what I'm in the mood for, please help me. And a bookseller will help you find the perfect book for you.
Sharing the joys of the written word has been Paul Carr's intent since he opened the Best Bookstore, a business that has been serving the Palm Springs community since 2022. Things were going very well at their location on Tahquitz Canyon Drive until this summer, when things got heated, quite literally, due to a broken air conditioner, and there was a dispute with the landlords over who should pay for repairs.
We were pretty sure, the lease said pretty clearly that the landlord was responsible for the air conditioning, but they disagreed, and in the end we just decided it was probably more sensible to stop fighting and start moving. So here we are.
Now, Paul and his staff have set up shop at their new location within Palm Springs Historic Plaza Shopping Center.
I mean, it's an amazing location. I mean, it's a historic location, so there's few better places and more iconic places to be in Palm Springs than the plaza, especially with the new theater redevelopment. We have air conditioning that works, which is great. We have same number of books as before, nicer space, better foot traffic, very happy.
So now, city residents can take comfort in this simple fact. Palm Springs is still a city with a bookstore.
Palm Springs will forever be a city with a bookstore if I have anything to do with it.
For Desert in a Minute, this is Steve Summerall for The Rogan Report.
Open the book because your daily dose of cuteness when we return.
Report was presented by the Living Desert Zoo and Gardens.
Palm Springs to Indio to La Quinta. Is anyone watching in Indio?
Whatever you're watching, tell us what you think. Find Fred on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Fred Rogan. You can also email thedesertdean@gmail.com.
What has a ring but no finger? A telephone.
Aha. Okay, now a comment. Debbie and Howard had to go through one of the hardest things any pet owner goes through. It was time for their 12-year-old dog, Hutch, to cross the Rainbow Bridge. They wanted everybody to know that St. Francis Pet Hospice made the experience as easy as possible for Hutch and for them. Dr. Kathy, caring, compassionate, respectful, and gave a loving environment for us, and especially our 12-year-old Hutch, on his final journey. You will not find anyone more caring. It's a tough time. It's a very tough time. Thank you for sharing that. Don't forget, we work 24/7. We're not going to sleep. We're up all night. Go to the website. That's where we're at work. Our content from tonight's program will be up there. Our content from past programs as well. So you can get caught up on tonight or what you missed in the past. Appreciate you watching. Have a great evening. Oh, we have something on CVUSD tomorrow. Wheel of Fortune's next.